In 1970, the Harvard professor Edward Banfield carried out a remarkable study. Banfield wanted to know, is there a single overarching reason why someone moves up an economic level, moves to a higher level of wealth? And after exhaustive research, he produced a very famous study at the time that concluded there was one primary reason that led some people to rise to a higher economic level. And you want to know what it is? Long-term time perspective. He said, look, you look at people who don't earn much money, they've got very short time perspectives. I see that, I'd like it. Bang. They're not saving. Or they're not building what they've got. Or when it comes to their business, I give up. Or this is too hard. Or, let's do this now. Whereas the people who are making real money, who are moving up economic levels, have much longer perspectives. Long-term time perspective. It's worth evaluating what's your time perspective. Now, here's the problem. The problem is that the media is always putting up these examples of people who are making billions almost instantly. You know, these take every second articles on Facebook, buy a hoodie and make $1 billion. And, what about, did you see Instagram? The company was around less than 2 years and it was sold for $1 billion. And it's on the front page of all the business magazines, and isn't it amazing? All these incredible achievers. Now, here's the problem. When you're looking at that, when most people look at that, they go, well, my business isn't growing like that. There must be something wrong with me. And it's distorting our view of what it takes to be successful. Because the reality is, as Banfield has shown, and plenty of people like Jim Collins has shown in great detail in modern times, is that these are anomalies. In business, it takes time to create a great business. And you look at the true stories of people who, not just the isolated anomalies, of people who have achieved great things in business. And what you're going to see is long-term time perspective. And plenty of times you're going to see that many of the greats of business started off working slowly, not doing much. Look at Walmart. When Sam Walton died, he was by far the richest person in the world. In fact, if you look at the Forbes 400, his 4 relatives are all in the top 20 even now, and that's splitting the fortune 4 ways. Incredible wealth he had. Well, what was Sam Walton's business when he started? Well, when he first started Walmart, it didn't go well. He was 7 years in before he even opened his second store. And they were little stores out in the country. After 25 years, they only had 38 stores. And now, Walmart employs 2.1 million people. It's the biggest employer on the planet of a private enterprise. Now imagine that at year 6 you go, oh, it's not good enough, I'm closing down. Right? He's driven with a long-term perspective. I'm not saying don't be flexible. I'm not saying don't change your approach. I'm just saying we have to lengthen our perspectives. You look at anyone in business, and behind the scenes, in 95% of cases, it took time. Look at Walt Disney. Did he just walk along the street, find some mouse ears, and come up with Disneyland? No way. Do you know? Walt Disney was turned down by 203 banks to get the loan to build Disneyland. 203. For anyone older in the room, Colonel Sanders was literally retired before he even started Kentucky Fried Chicken. And he didn't have the money to open restaurants. This was his original business model. He would go door to door and he would say to restaurant owners, hi, I'm Colonel Sanders and I've got this great chicken recipe and you can have it for free. All you got to do is give me a few cents for each piece of chicken that you sell. Kind of interesting business model, isn't it? So put yourself in the restaurateur's position. What would you do if you owned a restaurant and this guy walks in and says this? What would you do? Well, it'd be number one, look, mate, get rid of that ridiculous beard. It's never going to work. Number 2, I've got plenty of chicken recipes, thanks very much. And so it was for 500 restaurants in a row. And he kept going. These are true stats. 800 restaurants in a row. And he kept asking. 900, 1,000 restaurants in a row. He kept asking, and on the 1,000th and 9th time, one restaurant said, okay, I'll give it a go. And now there's probably not a person in this room that hasn't had Kentucky Fried Chicken and regretted it. That's not true. I love the potato and gravy. Love it. That's the power of persistence.